There's the table cam. We have Lady Mechanika, number 2. Okay. Now, this might be like volume 2, number 2. I'm not sure because I thought it was just number 2. And all throughout the book, there's all these advertisements for like Lady Mechanika this, Lady Mechanika that, as if it's been going for 20 years. So there's Lady Mechanika number 2. Feast your eyes on this, people. Secret Empire number 10. Justice League of America number 13. We'll talk about the cover in a moment. An All-Star Batman issue 13. There we go. Hold on, we gotta go back into order here. It has to be order, not just chaos. Before my throat gives out and I scream. Does it have to be so fucking loud because of this damn mic? Haha, yes. Okay. So everybody, Comicus has now begun, and we'll be looking at the first book. That is Lady Mechanika number 2. Now, when I heard of Lady Mechanika, I was thinking like, Lady Mechanika, would you care for some tea? Perhaps a crumpet. And I thought Lady Mechanika would just be sitting there eating tea and crumpets for the entire issue. That's not what happened. Lady Mechanika is a murder mystery, at least this issue was, where she is a suspect in a crime because she has steampunk limbs and is more powerful than most other human beings, but there's also a Mechanika police force. So other people have this too. So I've been trying to understand from this issue 2. Again, it's got to be volume 2 because there's an entire world that I'm supposed to know, basically. Basically, they're trying to hunt down a person that's killing people in very brutal ways, and Lady Mechanika's trying to clear herself as, you know, not being the actual killer. And it's not like she's been arrested, she's just been questioned. One round of questioning, she was able to go, and now she's like doing some spy work and everything like that, and she finds out the killer, who that killer is, and there's some craziness behind it as to maybe it's connected to Lady Mechanika or the people that outfitted her parts, but I don't want to completely spoil anything about the killer. I thought it was pretty good. I found out about it. This is one of those weird things that happens. Sometimes you're in the comic shop, you just see something out of the corner of your eye. And I saw this cover, this drawn cover, which is actually what they call an incentive cover. Way that works is a comic shop buys in 5 copies, they get one type of cover. They buy 10 copies, they get a different type of cover. This is an incentive cover. So some of them are ridiculous. They're like $5, $10, $15 more just for a different cover. This was only $2 difference. So I thought it was pretty cool looking, and I was like, for $2, I'll do that. I figured that was worth it for Lady Mechanika. Also, this week, there weren't a ton of books coming out. It was honestly, over a quarter of the new shelf was just empty. Because I think on some level, almost it was like a bye week, which means companies don't have their big books coming out. But it wasn't a true bye week because Marvel had some heavy hitters, DC had a couple heavy hitters. It's just like a number of books just didn't hit or something. I'm not exactly sure because every week I go, wall's full. New release wall is full, you know? And that's just a sampling of the books you can get, you know? We'll be talking about that in the future, sampling of books you can get. That leads us to something a little bit later. So yeah, that's Lady Mechanika number 2. Next up we have Secret Empire number 10. This is where it gets insane. I'm pretty positive Secret Empire number 9 was reviewed on Comicus last week, if not the week before. Usually, this book comes out I thought it was every month, but it must be every 2 weeks. But I guess it got behind, and then they just had week after week of Secret Empire, possibly. I'd have to double check. I could have sworn issue 9 came out last week. This is the end of Secret Empire. This is the big kahuna of the story. This is everything. It just brings it all to an end, and it does it as a good job. You know, I think it does a good job with it. I want to thank everyone that's watching, by the way. Thank you very kindly. The thing is that it might do too tidy of a job because they decide to do what is called a Deus Ex Machina. And I knew that was coming because there's a character called Kobik. And Kobik is a childlike personification of the Cosmic Cube. Cosmic Cube is the thing that Nazi dude, what's his name? Red Skull. Red Skull wanted to use to basically take over the world, and it allows him to remake the world to his liking. It's really damn scary. Well, the idea is here that it became the personification of a young girl. The young child was tricked by Red Skull, and that's what made Captain America part of Hydra. That's the basis. That's the seed of it. Well, this book is all about her. Kobik is her name. And she actually goes and is able to manifest the old Captain America, Steve Rogers, from inside the now Hydra Steve Rogers, and they fight one another, which is crazy but awesome. There's one part where on the cover there, it's much more insane than you think it is. Hydra Captain America kills all the Avengers. He kills all the Avengers. And he rewrites history for the ones surviving, that they're now members of Hydra. So that was crazy. Because he, in this outfit, that star is the accumulation of the Cosmic Cube. So he has the ability that Red Skull's been trying to get forever. So Kobik basically goes and has him fighting a battle with his inner demons. So it's this dude here versus old style Captain America in an awesome battle. And what's awesome is Scott Lang, Ant-Man, there's a few characters that weren't fighting with the Avengers. They were in a separate team. So Ant-Man and Bucky Barnes go and team up, and Bucky shrinks down with Ant-Man's device and removes the Cosmic Cube from the suit. It's awesome. It's awesome, but it's questionable because it's also what you call, again, a Deus Ex Machina. It seems a little bit too tidy the way they cleaned it all up. There's another series coming out after Secret Empire, and I thought that was going to be like dealing with, you know, the whole stopping of him. You know, I thought maybe they'd imprison him and then basically have to try like brainwashing him. I figured an entire series, but no, he's basically back. And the Avengers remember everything, but most of the people in the world, at least according to this issue, everything's been rewritten. They don't know that it was like a Nazi state for everyone in the United States. They make a point of that because in the first issue, it was somewhat clumsily handled, I have to admit. They introduced a young boy in school and his father. And the reason they did that is so you could see the changes now of what it was like for the young boy and father before and after Hydra. And it took, like, basically 10 freaking issues to do that. So this thing introduced for, like, the first 5 pages of Secret Empire 1 finally came to fruition in issue 10. And it just seems like one of those things, like, I had to remember who the hell it was. I'm sitting there like, who's this father? Who's this son? And I'm like, oh, 10 issues ago, I vaguely remember them. Okay, so, everybody, that was the first 2 books of Comicus. I always like to do a short little pop in like this and say, hey, we've done the first 2, we're getting to the next 2. That's what this was. Okay, 1 second here. Next up we have Justice League of America. I love this damn cover. You want the secrets of the atom? You'll die before you find them, says this mysterious person with a crazy-ass gun, holding the current atom or a replacement Adam. I'm not exactly sure. This is, again, one of those situations where not a lot of books come out, and you're like, I love that cover. I like DC. I like the characters in the Justice League, JLA, even though the main JLA book, which this is not, there's JLA and then fully spell out Justice League of America. I'm sure that doesn't confuse people. It's the same damn thing. 2 separate books, but this one's at issue 13, and Justice League JLA, just JLA, is like number 30 roughly. I feel that's an odd choice, not one I would make. Anyway, turns out that's not a bad person. Turns out that's someone who knew the Atom and is actually trying to help and find the Atom. And they were on a living planet area in the microverse, which is complicated and crazy. It's like when the Atom shrinks down, it's an entire universe or world that we can't see that's just happening all around us on a micro scale. And Adam's there somewhere, or believed to be, and Mazga, I believe, was the name of this god that all these people are trying to communicate with. Well, replacement Adam is trying to figure out how to do that. And that's a spoiler when we find out how. And something, either Mazga or something in the microverse, starts rewriting it too. So that's weird. We have 2 points where someone is trying to rewrite their world. We have it in Secret Empire 10, and we have something kind of similar in Justice League of America 13. I was impressed because this is issue 13. This is probably far into this story arc, yet I was able to understand it and follow. So that was nice. I appreciated that. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It didn't blow my socks off, as they say, but I thought it was pretty good. Next up, our final book is All-Star Batman. Now I'll comment on this cover. It's damn weird. This cover is not from the main storyline, which involves Alfred Pennyworth having these flashbacks of his youth and his training as a medic, fighter, soldier, basically like Secret Service MI5 type of thing. And it correlates with a current story of Batman dealing with Alfred's mentor from when he was younger. It's pretty neat. I like it a lot, actually. It's Scott Snyder, who's an excellent comic writer and one of the best Batman comic book writers. I mention this all the time. He gave us the Court of Owls. And while I don't love every aspect of the Court of Owls storyline, I think they're good characters. I think they're intense characters. And I think there were a lot of awesome developments with them that wouldn't be here without Scott Snyder. Yeah, I think he's very good. He might have also done Black Mirror, which is a phenomenal book. I'd have to double check. I'm pretty sure he did Black Mirror too, that he wrote it. Have to double check that though. Don't quote me on that. We're not going to look it up. Ain't the time for that. But if he did, it's damn good. And even if he didn't, I'd recommend checking out Batman and Black Mirror. Damn good stuff. Anyway, this is from the side story. When you buy All-Star Batman, you will notice the price tag's a little bit on the high side for a DC book. Most Marvel books are $4. Most DC books are $3. This sucker's $5. It's not $5 because you're paying for Batman, because the Batman book alone is $3 an issue. It's $5 because it's a whole 22-page issue plus roughly a 10 to 12 page story that's like a serial. It goes on every month, and it keeps telling more and more of the larger story. And this one's been good. It's been about the Bratva, it's been about the Russian mafia, and it's been about this young woman right here who's like this Russian killing machine. And it's about her running drugs, guns. She's trying to run guns into Gotham, and it's Batman basically like saying, I'm going to stop this. This is an alternate cover, but it's still an odd choice for any of the covers to feature the story that's only about 10 to 12 pages. But I like the cover. You know, I mean, I get the book anyway, so I was like, that was a neat cover. Oh, you can see that's better, right? Oh, that's a much better view for you guys. That looks so much better. Okay. Yeah, it was good though. There's a lot of surprises. I'll laid it out though for you. The mentor of Alfred Pennyworth, who taught him just about everything he knew, he's basically going and he's gone rogue. And Tommy Elliott, also known as Hush, has been involved in this story arc. It's been really good. If you like Batman, All-Star Batman has been really enjoyable. I started from the beginning where it was a story with Batman and Two-Face, and a lot of it takes place in a small, like, little Texas town. It's pretty neat. It's off the beaten path, we'll say. But yeah, those were all... One second, I gotta move the camera. The mouse wanted to almost fall asleep for just a second, so trying to get it back and it didn't want to. Okay, that's the fun of a live show. Okay, so we have these 4 books now, and just give me 1 second. I have to put them in order. You might be surprised. You may not be. It's hard to say. It's very possible you'll be surprised. I'm not quite sure. Okay, 1 second here as we go back to that camera view. Okay, All-Star Batman. We'll start with that one. I liked it. I thought it was good. It had some really solid writing. And I kind of saw what we were headed towards, because we knew about this mentor. And I'm like, why would they bring up this mentor out of nowhere we've never heard of before? And while we're telling the story of Alfred, and the exciting thing is that basically we're learning more about Alfred. You know, we knew about his time as a medic, but there's so much more to him. You know, it's really kind of neat. There's almost like MI5 and all that. And he keeps talking about Batman as his son, which is really neat. Because you don't always get that relationship between Alfred and Batman. However, All-Star Batman. I like the Batman. I like the Alfred. You're a very good issue. You're not bad by any means, but I strip you of your bag and board. And I toss you into the Batcave. That wasn't as graceful as I was hoping, because I had to change the camera positioning and the table positioning. Again, live show. Okay, next up we have Lady Mechanika #2. It was neat. I don't know. What can I say about it? I liked it. I don't want to oversell it. Because a lot of it was tons of talking, and it just felt like this issue was served more from the action scenes than the absurd amount of dialogue. Like, in the first, I shit you not, in the first 5 or 6 pages, some of the most dialogue I've seen in any comic, if we're talking about a whole 22-page comic. And I have no problem with lots of words. I love reading. But it just seemed like mannered and very British, but too much. And a little bit slow-moving until you got to the final, like, 4 or 5 pages. Now, you can say about a lot of comic books, but a lot of comic books will at least have panels that let the art speak for themselves, splash pages, things like that. I just thought it was a little too verbose, to be honest with you. I would actually like to know a little more about the character. I might pick up something else. I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually pretty damn good. I love the cover. I think the cover was a good decision. I like that a lot. However, Lady Mechanika, no crumpets or biscuits for you, madam. This one's interesting because it's taped. Because it was purchased like this. It had the actual bag and board. So, it'll take me just a second to strip it of its bag and board. See, I'm smart enough not to tape or close the other packages. Okay, so I eventually strip it of its bag and board. For the reasons I said earlier. There's the bag and board. And I toss it all the way to Victorian London. You'll just have to trust me. Okay. Next up. Oh, son of a bitch. The order was wrong. I had to move one of the books. That is funny. I'm happy I caught that. Next up. Justice League of America, you want the secrets of the atom, you'll die before you find them. Again, a great cover. Really great cover. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I could understand most of the storyline. It was incredibly overwhelming, though, because the microverse is this huge thing. I kind of wish I would have had some previous issues of this book, but it did a decent job of actually explaining what was going on, at least with Ray Palmer, the Atom, and their search for him. And, well, one second, I have a little more to tell you about that. It's, right here, it's, Justice League of America, number 13, with your deceptive but very amusing cover. Because that's not a bad guy, good guy. You find out in, like, page 2 or 3. It's not like I'm completely ruining it for you. Page 2 or 3, you find out it's a good guy. Because you were good, but not quite brilliant, I remove you from your bag and board. Man, Lady Mechanika is making me more pretentious by the moment, I must say. Okay. And I toss you into the microverse. Wait, where'd it go? I tossed it into the microverse. Now I can't find it. It's really small. Damn it. Okay, I guess that's what happens when you toss something into the microverse. Okay. Secret Empire, number 10. What can I say? Secret Empire is a series. It's a hell of a lot better than Civil War 2. Civil War 2, I've mentioned this before, I got halfway through the story arc, I just gave up. I was like, these characters are completely out of character. I don't understand why certain things are happening. I'm not really enjoying this that much. And it just seemed like Marvel was trying to cash in. Okay. And yes, you could say the thing about Captain America becoming a Hydra. Maybe you could also take that cynical view. That's fine. But there are other elements around this series, including this issue, that really elevate it. There's those great moments with certain characters. There's some characters that could possibly still be dead, which is interesting. Because as they claim that things were rewritten, it seems that maybe Kobik didn't change the people that died. I don't know yet. Still trying to figure that one out. But it was still an exciting and interesting way, even though it used a Deus Ex Machina technique. Stephen King, he uses Deus Ex Machina. The Stand uses a Deus Ex Machina. The movie Deus Ex Machina actually really doesn't have a Deus Ex Machina in it, oddly enough. It means the hand of God, God from the rafters, I believe is the exact term. It's kind of like it's a dramatic term in like plays and things. God from the rafters, I believe, is the exact, or something like that. God from the heavens. But yeah, I thought it was pretty damn awesome. The fight between our Captain America that we love and this crazy Hydra bastard was really good. Using Ant-Man very cleverly was good. Although I believe they have used him before to take on Apocalypse years and years ago. But it wasn't recent, so I think that's fine. I don't know how else they would have said to stop him. He was basically a god. an insane god. So, you know, like Thanos, but maybe even more dangerous. I'm not sure. I guess you'd have to look at the Infinity Gauntlet and the stones, and then see, is a cosmic cube fully assembled worse than that? That's what you'd have to figure out. And there's this cool moment where you have all the heroes get together, and they're like talking about what the plan was after you've seen it handled with Ant-Man and everything, and that was pretty neat. And I honestly didn't think they would come to any conclusion. I was like, how did they show him in the insane Iron Man type outfit at the end of issue 9, and then, you know, give us something satisfying and entertaining, and not completely awful? Because at times, Civil War 2, completely awful. Not the entire series, I won't say that. There were some things that were really reaching, though. Anyway, being that's the last book, and I've showered it with praise, that means Steel Empire number 10. You are the winner of Comicus this week. You were a satisfying ending. I didn't love everything in it, but I was happy that it wasn't a waste of time and money to read the entire series. Everyone, Cap is back. We got him back as much as it seems like it anyway. I guess there could be some weirdness, you know, between the Avengers and everyone else trusting Cap. It's kind of like when the Justice League found out that Batman knew how to kill every member if he had to. Which is a great story. I believe Grant Morrison wrote it. But yeah, he basically reveals that he knows all their weaknesses, and if they went rogue, he'd be able to take them all down. That affected his standing and friendship with the Justice League for a while, as you guess it might. But Secret Empire, you've won Comicus. That means you ascend into heavens and become a star. Oh, 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 oh. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Look at all the wondrous colors. It's like all the colors of the Infinity Gauntlet. Such a beautiful, bright, shining star in the sky. It's amazing. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for joining me for Comicus. And I hope you liked it. I hope you didn't hate it. I appreciate you taking your time to check it out. Yeah, I do this every week. Maybe ill-advised, but yes. 9 p.m. on Fridays. Hated it? Well, thanks a lot, Xbox Live Mike. Why, though? Well, anyone watching, I know Xbox Live Mike personally. I know he didn't actually hate it. He probably thinks I'm crazy, but he didn't actually hate it. But yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. And yeah, I'm hoping people saw this. And it actually was on Twitch, because again, Twitch had all these insane issues. And this will eventually be on YouTube too. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.